Hello and welcome to Burning Questions. We've been recording for 20 minutes and 48 seconds, trying to get everything rolling, but technology, isn't it wonderful? We're up and about, and we've got a couple of new guests. Josh, Dickie, welcome to you.
Welcome, J-Bon. Thanks for having me on, mate.
You're the one who absolutely nailed it from the start. Rolling fields in the background. We've got to get you out by, in a certain amount of time so you can watch Old Town Road go around in the New Zealand free-for-all. Bernie Hewitt, welcome to you, my friend.
Hey, Jace, how are you?
I'm very good. And now, are you like thrilled that you've got teams on the phone now for all the teams meetings you'll have over the next few weeks, or no, not really?
The last thing I thought I'd be doing is, getting on the phone and joining in a teams meeting.
Well, it's a wonderful experience. And Andy Gath, you've had some troubles as well, but 500 metres up the road, and you're with us. Welcome to you.
Yeah, no, good to be here, Jason, and good to have Bernie on, and a bit of New Zealand flavour and New South Wales flavour today.
Now, you're going to, you like to target somebody, normally me. It's probably going to be Josh today you'll target, because I can't imagine, I mean, you've got that long-term friendship with Josh. You're not going to hit Bernie hard with anything, are you? Because that would be a bit cruel and unfair, I reckon.
No, I'll go easy on Bernie, because it's probably the first time Bernie questions someone that older than me's been on this show.
Tell you what, I was when he was younger. Anyway, question one of the burning questions. Have the draws ensured that Techie wins the second race, or can the captain of the school defy his starting place? Who wins race 2 on Breeders' Crown semi-final night? Andrew, Patrick, Gath.
Yeah, you think Techie's watching is going to find the lead. Probably lacks a little bit of depth this heat. School captain's obviously the danger, but it's Sean Barrier 13. Personally, I think school captain's better of the two horses. But I think Nate will be looking at the bigger picture and worry about the $300,000 race next week, and he'll just be trying to qualify as easy as possible. So I think Technics will find the top and be too good.
That is the most clear, definitive answer you've given me in like 9 weeks of burning questions. It's always, that's a really tough question. I don't really have an answer for you, J-Bon. Bernie's shown us a little bit around the room there, but we've got him back on deck now. Hey, Bernie, can you try putting the phone sideways, horizontal? Honestly, I'm virtually Steve Jobs. I am the reincarnation of Steve. How do I do it? Bernie, what do you reckon here? Semi-finals, you're always just trying to qualify. School captain doesn't have to win. Is he that much better than Techie's watching that he will, despite drawing outside the second row?
Oh, look, I'm probably a bit like Andy. I think that the draws looks like Techie jumps to the front, and I'm a bit the same as what Andy said. I thought the other horse, school captain, would work his way into the race, but you'd think he'd get a reasonably easy time up front and probably be too good.
Smart move going with Andy there. That means he's less likely to have a go at you, even though the age game has already come into play. Josh, Dickie, your thoughts here? Are we all in concert? Because I think the draws probably have won the race for Techie's watching.
Well, this could be a boring show if we're all going to be in the same boat. Have to agree, because just with the barrier draw going against school captain, it's just so wide on the back line. And, you know, there's a big dance next week. I wouldn't think they'd be trying to cut any throats this week. I will say I'm a big fan of school captain. I first seen him at Bendigo, I think his first race, and I just seen him walk around the parade ring. He looks a lovely animal. He looks plenty of scope about him. So I'd be wanting to watch him for next week, I think.
I think, like Andy, he's the better horse, but I think Techie's watching will win this week. And it's all right, Josh, I'll just lie if I have to. I'll just lie. If I have to create some debate, I'll just say something I don't believe. Is Bernie's Jewel, second question, is Bernie's Jewel the Great Bay Hope that holds the Stewart charge, or will Mick Soho Seraphine make her challenge hard? What are you expecting here, Bernie? Gee, she went unbelievably good at heat level last time.
Guys, I was tickled pink with a run. She was first up for a fair while again, and she'd had a couple of trials back at Bathurst and went terrific the other day. It's always awkward when you draw the outside of the front row in any class race. Obviously, Nick Stanley's filly goes really well. I watched that heat at Maryborough with interest, and saw the tactics there. You know, whether they adopt same tactics, I'm unsure. But she's there again, got the draw on us. So really, the ball's in their court, which way they're going to drive that one. And they got the aces in their hand from that draw, from what I can see.
All right. So can you win if you don't find the front?
Possibly, yeah. Sitting on the fence a bit there, but it just depends how good they back up, I guess, from their runs the other day.
Having met Bernie a few times, that was a declarative yes, we definitely can win. Possibly. So you always have to upgrade whatever Bernie says by about, I'd say 90%. Yeah, so that's a yes. Andy, your thoughts here? I can't believe how short Jewel Melody is, but the run was massive. I think the draw it works out every which way, I reckon, and she should be winning. I think she looks a very, very nice filly.
Yeah, no, she's been a great filly all season and already won over 300,000 and multiple Group 1s. She's had a pretty big season. She's had 12 starts and 11 trials, so she's been around a few times. But obviously, Maryborough, she showed that she's still got plenty to give. So, again, she was entitled to tire at Maryborough, and she just kept coming that last 100. So, yeah, I think she's the one to beat. I think she'll find the top. Just look Ants in the eye early. I'm sure he hand up to you, Birdie. Ants likes handing up these days. So, I think she'll find the top, and I think she'll be too good.
Just lower that phone a touch, Bernie. We're getting a beautiful blue steel out of your eyes. There's the whole face. So, are you having a go at Bernie for how many times he's trialled Jewel Melody, or what's the go? No. Look, if you are, just say it.
Just saying what a strong filly she is. That she probably produced her best run of her career last start, even though it was in defeat.
What are you thinking here, Josh? We got Soho Seraphine, Mick Stanley back. I think she might have been missing Michael while he was over in New Zealand. Tempting Tigress was amazing, winning her heat. What do you think is going to happen in race 3 on the card?
Well, I think Andy's telling Bernie to run the gate and you'll find the front. That'll be interesting. They were both good heats the other day, and Andy's already pointed out what these fillies have done. So, look, being semi-finals too, I don't think there'll be many wars this week. Although they've still got to run top 6, I think, something like that. So, they can't be sitting back wondering. But, I think the big battles will be next week. And, if Bernie decides to go back, he won't have any trouble qualifying. Both good fillies going forward. The draw is probably going to aid Mick Stanley's horse a lot. But, I would like to see Bernie's horse go on and win the final.
I think she'll be winning this week and potentially the final. Question 3 of 5 Bernie questions, because it's such a big night at Tabcorp Park this weekend, Saturday night. Andy Gath is in Cypher on a different plane in Phillies Field, or is her Gate 3 draw a little tougher than it feels?
Yeah, obviously she's a pretty filly. She has been for a long time. But there's depth in the 3-year-old fillies. I think there's more depth in the 3-year-old fillies than all the races this weekend. So 3 can always be a tricky draw. She's got speed inside her and speed outside her with Steno. Obviously she's clear top pick, but she's not completely over the line. If she has to sit outside them, she showed in the heat of the Oaks that she was able to get beaten that too when she had to sit outside them. But yeah, pretty short odds for mine, but I think she's the one to beat for the series. But I wouldn't be taking the short odds this week.
I don't want to mention the war in case it didn't go well, but how did Kate go in the New York Marathon?
I haven't heard. I haven't seen anything about it, so I think she went all right. No.
I honestly thought you were serious, and I just thought I'd pack my stuff.
No,
I'd just move out now and find a new place.
Been wearing sandals with socks. It's a very good look.
So what is the news?
Sorry?
What is the news?
No, she went really good time. I think she finished in the top 3% of female runners over there. So, yeah, it was a great effort.
No need to keep it to yourself. Josh, your thoughts on this question in Cypher. Has she taken over top seed significantly in the 3-year-old fillies division?
Well, I think she deserves top seed, but I actually thought Amore Vita's run in the heat was pretty good. They just dawdled round and then they've run basically 200 or 300 metres at a flat dash. And she's always been a good filly for mine, Amore Vita. Drawn inside her too. I would actually go out on a limb here. I think Amore Vita will win it myself.
That was wonderful to watch the cogs tick over for Josh Dickie. Then it was a narrative where he talked himself into him. He started talking about Amore Vita, was a chance, and then top tip. That was beautiful. I enjoyed that. This is what Burning Questions is all about, talking yourself into tips. Bernie, you know more probably about Steno than a few of us. Will it just cross them for fun here at the start?
She's got really good gate speed, what I've seen of her, and I think just the way the draws panned out, she might even take the risk and see if she can get across, and wouldn't be surprised she could throw a cat amongst the pigeons, because if she's going as good as what she was there sort of 2 or 3 weeks ago, well, she's got to be some hope.
Do you think do we all think Jack Callaghan, if he found the front with Steno, that he would hold it or he would hand up? Bernie?
He could possibly, if he got across Amore Vita, he'd have an option then of maybe holding or maybe even letting the fave go and cipher.
That was a non-answer, but we're here for Burning Questions. You were sitting right on the fair. So, Josh, would he keep the front or would he hand up, do you think, to encipher?
Amore Vita or Steno?
Oh, no, he's still on Amore Vita. I'm saying if Steno got across, actually both of them, would Amore Vita want to keep the front?
Oh, I would say they would. Yeah, my guess they would. I could be wrong, but if Steno found the front, look, if there was an easy lead for the first 600 or 800 metres, I'd say they would. If they had to do a lot to get there, then obviously they're going to have to think about plan B. So, plenty to think about for those drivers.
I think either Amore Vita or Steno would be handing up to encipher. Andy, your thoughts, Calvin Klein?
Yeah, I think they'll be handing up.
Short and sharp, just the way we like it. Question 4 of the 5 burning questions today as we head towards preliminary final weekend in the trots, semi-finals of the Breeders' Crown. Will the frontline gate give Major Perry his big hope, or does Improver Interest-Free simply have more scope? Obviously, this question is for the man parked next to the rolling field, Josh Dickie. Talk to us, please, son.
Yeah, well, the draws probably come out good for him, being in the, or I suppose the lesser heat, with Captain Ravishing and Rip being in the other heat. I was really happy with his run the other night. He probably, on paper he should have run a bit closer to Rip and Captain Ravishing, but he lost a bit of work after the Derby. He just had a niggling problem that just sort of slowed him up a little bit, and going into the heat the other night, he just probably wasn't quite ready. So, with that being said, I just thought he'd be far better for it this week. His week of work this week's been great. Got back from New Zealand Wednesday and hobbled him Thursday, and he felt really nice, and he was pretty strong. And I'd like to see if he can sort of roll forward and see what happens. It's probably not going to be that easy, but he's a lovely colt, and being trained by Barry Purdon and Scott Phelan. Well, Barry needs no introduction. He's an unbelievably great trainer. So when he's given you the colours to drive one, that gives you a lot of confidence.
Are you confident that he'll be finding the front?
I'm pretty confident, but you just never know. Like, it's there's a couple inside me that we'll just have to see how they play their cards. But we'll just see what happens, I think.
I'm also upgrading Josh Dickie's possibly or semi-confident. I'm giving that another 80% as well. So I think he does believe he'll find the front. And I'd like to apologise for the son comment. Very condescending. Let's go with brother instead. Andy Gath, your thoughts on this race?
Yeah, I thought he was touch plain, Major Perry, last week, but obviously Josh explained that he missed a little bit of work, so better for the run. I know he was chasing home 2 quality horses in Captain Ravishing and Rip, but I thought he should have finished a little bit closer. I'm a big Interest-Free fan. I just think he's going terrific. Even though he's got a back row draw, he can overcome it. So I think Interest-Free is definitely the one to beat, but obviously Major Perry is a danger, but I'd be sticking with Interest-Free in this race.
Bernie, your thoughts, please.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Interest-Free's run the other day at Bendigo, and I thought he won't be in the early hustle there, and I thought that'll play into his hands. If Josh finds the front on Major Perry, I think he may have to do a little bit of work, and the other horse I think will work into it. I'm sort of on Interest-Free.
I'm telling you what, I think there's one at 150 to 1 here that can nearly win called Repelling. And if it does win, you won't see me for 4 weeks. Somebody else will be hosting Burning Questions for the upcoming month. Sorry, Andy?
I'll be cheering at home then.
Why do you have to be? Why do you have to be so nasty? You want to host it yourself. This is going to be your big opportunity, Graham Kennedy. You want to have a get right? Question 5 of the Burning Questions. Andy, I'll go straight to you. Yes. Does Tough Tilly have the class to dominate the last, or if she's forced to labour, will gun rivals be too fast? This is going to be a great way to finish the night. Doug's Babe versus Tay versus Tough Tilly, but with Kate. I mean, I don't think you've even spoken to her, but apparently she was in the top 3% of the women there after the New York Marathon. All this was based on the Tough Tilly story. I think she'll find a way to it. She, I think, is over the odds at $2.60. What are your thoughts, Andrew?
Yeah, I think she's definitely the one to beat. She's a quality mare. All her runs have been terrific, except for one poor run when she had a issue with her breathing, obviously. But Tay and Doug's Babe are quality mares themselves and probably have the advantage of the barrier draw. But even though she's drawn poorly in the field, I still think she's the one to beat, and I think she'll get the job done.
Bernie, 3 gun 4-year-old mares. Tay-Tay's been racing in New South Wales and doing a great job. Is Tough Tilly just better than them, or can Tay-Tay or Doug's Bay beat her?
Got heaps of respect for Tough Tilly. She's done it all. But been very impressed with Tay-Tay's gate speed and finishing speed when she sat up. Over the short trip, I'll probably just put her margin in front.
Josh?
I think, did you say they're getting $2.60 for Tough Tilly?
You were this morning.
Well, yeah, in my opinion, that's just great odds.
Would you like to take some time? Would you like to have a bet and come back and do the rest of Burning Questions later?
Well, I mean, she beat Ladies in Red a couple of starts ago. Yeah, to me, she just looks a real winner on paper. It's not going to be easy, but yeah, that's great odds, $2.60.
Now, before we get to the best bets, Bernie, if Rip draws better, has to qualify, of course, but draws better than Captain Ravishing in the final next weekend for the 3-year-old colts and going to the Breeders' Crown, can you leap to fame him or not?
It's one of those questions. Like, it all depends on whether they, who draws underneath Rip, if that happens. But I'm very happy with where he's at. His runs down here have been first class, and he's just needed a little bit of luck in draws. And even this week he hasn't drawn to win, but he's overdue for a good draw, and I'd love to have him, get that chance to overturn the favourite here and maybe do a leap to fame. Yeah.
We follow Pegs this week and just run second or third and look forward to next weekend.
That's what I'm thinking. Dougie arrives down tonight. He's the pilot, so I'll have a chat with him and we'll do tactics tonight, etc. And tomorrow. But I'd be sort of thinking he'd be 3 fence, and if he gets a bit of luck, he'll flash and should qualify.
Now you've got teams. Maybe give us a call back on teams when you're doing the tactics with Dougie, and we'll record that as well. I would like to see the Excel spreadsheets and everything. That's what. Andy, question for you before the best bets. How ready is our little mate Majestuoso?
Yeah, he's pretty close. Been really happy with him. He's probably ready to trial a couple of weeks ago and sort of had a bit of rain and sort of halted his work a little bit. So, yeah, he's probably pretty close to his best. Won't be easy. Obviously, there's a lead-up run to the Interminion, but pretty happy where he is. But I think with this run under his belt, he'd be pretty close to his best once the first Interminion heat comes around.
Hey, boys, there must be a lot of rain at Andy's, because whenever he's got a good horse that's flying, they never seem to be able to get to the trials. So, geez, it must be inclement there. It must just be storming constantly. They never seem to get to the trials when they're a bit... Anyway, best bets, please. Josh Dickie, you first.
Major Perry. Yeah, he's given me a bit of confidence this week, and pretty happy with him.
Because you're going to find the front. Bernie, your best bet on the card, please.
Oh, geez, this wasn't on the sheet.
It was in the email. I know there's been a lot to digest today, Bernie. It was in the email. I did talk about the best bets. You can go easy and just say dual melody, or you can go another way. But you're putting extra pressure on yourself if you go dual melody.
That's right. I'm just having a quick look at Rip again. obviously each way, but that's not much value to anyone. We'll just go dual melody.
Andy, best bet from you, please. I'm expecting something a bit avant-garde from you. I can see it in your eyes.
No,
I can see it in your smile. Nothing. Okay, nothing avant-garde from Andy. What is it?
no, just tough Tilly Wilkes in the last. I just think $2.60 is completely overs. If Ladies in Red was in the race, she'd probably be $1.20. So.
Well, I can guarantee there's only one big problem there. It's going to be my best bet as well. So we've got issues. Just like Julia Michaels. Tough Tilly for me. I reckon a Kate Gath double, I reckon in Cypher is over the odds at $1.65 as well. Despite Josh pumping up for a Moray Vita, I'm with in Cypher. I think she's the best of those 3-year-old fillies. Well done, Bernie. We'll talk later on tonight when you're doing tactics, all right, mate?
Righto, mate.
Good on you, Josh.
Thanks, J-Bon.
And well done, Andy. Amazingly, you were the last man to join. After doing the show 933 times, you still couldn't find the right reception, but you got there, and that's why you're a champion. Well done.
Well, that's it. Always wanted to be on for the first episode of Bernie Questions.
And apparently, if Repelling wins, Andy will be your new host. It's always been the Andy Gath Show anyway. God bless. That's been Burning Questions for another week. Enjoy Breeders' Crown semi-finals night at Tabcorp Park this weekend.